Hi everyone, I'm Michaela.
Hi, I'm Charisma.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Cameron.
And welcome to Brew and Table Talk. In honor of Black History Month, we have a few notable Black alumni.
And our special guests today are
Gabrielle Union and Carrie Champion.
That what Gab said is so true, like in terms of just figuring it out and taking internships. I think internships lead you to everything. When I was at UCLA, I wasn't really study abroad, but they had this internship where you could go and study in DC for the summer. And I did that. And I had a couple of internships at CNN and Voice of America. And that's when I knew I was going to do this, what I'm doing since I was a kid. But I really knew then that it was tangible and feasible and that I would do well because I was always curious about people. And listen, I think the common denominator here between us is that we're hard workers. We love to work. We don't necessarily have to work, but we love to work. We love to do. No one's going to outwork me. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. You know, I'm never going to mail it in. I'm going to give you my best because that's a representation of who I am at all times. And everybody needs to be able to do that. Everybody can't do that. I see that in Gab and what she does and her hard work. Some people could rest on what they look like and not want to go behind the scenes and produce or write a book. Or, I mean, there's all types of streams of revenue to be made in whatever industry you're in if you're going to be innovative about it. And I think that's what we're all learning. For so long, you know, when I left ESPN, people were like, "Why are you leaving? It's the mothership." I was like, "Because I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not living my dream. I'm really truly just sitting here doing what I can do in this box." And while I have made a name for myself here in this box, that's great and that's wonderful, and that's a dream job, just not my dream job. I want to go do things that I want to do now. I've done it the way that I was supposed to do it, and that's a part of your journey, your walk, if you will, in your career. You do things that you think you're supposed to do, and when you do it, you get up here, you're like, okay, all right, it's not all that exciting anymore. It was while I mean, trust me. I mean, being the first in many ways at that network was wonderful. But what I think we don't talk about is that when you're the first, it comes with a lot of cuts and bruises.
I don't want to be thought of as a great woman because of my job, because of, you know, different roles or whatever. And I definitely don't want to be thought of as a great woman because I'm married to, you know, a great athlete. I don't want to be thought of as a great woman because I'm a good mom. I want to be a good woman because I'm a good woman, and I've done the work on myself, and I keep doing the work on myself. I keep excavating my soul for the speed bumps, for the crap, for like the emotional cysts that I gotta work to, you know, disintegrate. And once I realized this isn't a one-shot deal, like it's not like, oh, I just go to therapy for a year. This is a lifelong journey to being my best self, where I'm proud of myself and my soul is clear and clean and singing. But to do that, I have to, it is no fun being the lone Negro, or Negress, as I've been called on the internets, in the room. I don't want to be the okey doke Negro. I don't want to be the one that's like, oh my God, they like me. Yeah, because what comes with that is for you to oppress, to be an extension or an arm of oppression on people that look like you. And a lot of people get geeked to get in the room, to get that seat at the table that was never built for you, that they don't even want you at. Previously, on inside the room where the table is at, they had barricaded that door. They let you in because they thought you were going to be an okey doke Negro that would, you know, carry their water. And you have done a bang up job. So now that you've been on the other side, I was like, oh, can't be me. Not ever, not never. I can't sleep at night. No. So I had to figure out, how do I build my own house with a bunch of rooms and tables and chairs for everybody? And I have to be a part of the solution of creating opportunities and images and narratives that are outside of me. I don't want all the checks. I don't want to star in everything. I don't want to, you know, everyone's like, are you ready to direct? I'm like, no, there's people who actually know how to do this and want to do this. I don't need to have all the checks. I don't need all the opportunities. What makes me happy is providing opportunities for other people. And then I try to guilt them or gas them into making sure that you hold the door open. Don't be that girl. Don't get geeked to be the spook that sat by the door. And I hope that I lead by example, and I hope that I more often than not lead from the front.
Exhausting to be us, but only us can do it. We are built for it. Gab said that to me today in the text. We are built for it. And there's a reason why we've been put here. And you guys never, ever, ever step away from the challenge, because only we can do it. Like, only we truly can do it. And you've seen it. You've seen your parents do it. You've seen your mom do it. You've seen your friends do it. And that's why we were called here. I believe we're truly the conscience of this country, and people really need us. And that's why we've been put in these positions to shine.
I remember, you know, our coaches would always identify the weakest link to shoot for, I don't know, you guys call them suicides, but like lines or whatever, we call them lines, and you'd be like, not her, no, oh my God, I'm never getting out of here, I'm gonna puke. You know where your weak links are. So when you guys form your groups, you all know that you're stronger together. They can't take out all of you, right? And the more in lockstep you are, it makes it really difficult to try to plow through you. But you gotta know whose arm isn't gonna be as strongly linked. You know, tie game, or you need a corner three. You know, you're like, not swinging it that way. It's not, oh God, you know how to put people in positions to win, and you know who to avoid in crunch time. And that's equally as important as we're talking about team building, and it takes all of us. You got to know how to play to people's strengths, and all lessons I learned, you know, on the basketball court, on the soccer field, that have served me well as being a former athlete. You can easily identify, as you all know, and I'm trying to look at your faces in your Zooms because I know whose names popped into your mind, who you don't want to see at the end of practice having to shoot free throws to see, you know, how many lines you're going to run or how many suicides you're going to run. You're like, oh God, it's the same, you know, like there's been times where I've had to depend on certain people to stand up for me or to speak up, and they screwed the pooch. And it was like, you know, and there are those times where somebody's, you know, let's say a 43%, you know, shooting 43% from three, and they just miss. You're like, got them on a wrong day, off day. But then there's people, you know damn well, she can barely make layups. Like, why are we playing these games? So, you know, to align yourself with the with the strengths.
Spirit right now, Gab. They're falling out laughing, and I think you guys just want to tell us the name, because Gabby, y'all are
Absolutely.
Don't make me show up to practice, because I will, just to prove my point. I feel it in my bones. There's always one or two people you're like, please, no.
No name.
Yeah.
And like always, go Bruins.
oh, bro.
Hey!